In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Hope you've joined us. Hope you've nuked up. Hello, my name is Mark Godwin Iweajunwa, and you are welcome to SSM News Echoes Global Africa. Today is the 25th of September, 2024. I'm here with my colleagues. I hope I'm connected. I'm here with my colleagues. I'm here with my friends, coordinators in faraway Ghana. Is our man, Ogbenyola Inkaraji. Raji, can you hear me? Raji, are you there?
I'm with you, man. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, viewers around the world. Yes.
Yes. We see you're still in Ghana, the Gold Coast, enjoying yourself.
Cape
Coast. Sorry. Cape Coast. Yes. So, how is it there? How is it there today at the Cape Coast?
Everything is calm. I'm by the Atlantic Sea,
Wow.
by Atlantic Ocean. The breeze is cool. I'm close to the Cape Coast Castle, which is a tourist attraction, a very great tourist attraction in Cape Coast, Ghana.
Wow.
Everything is cool, calm. I wish I could continue to stay here and not go back to Nigeria.
It's all good. Well, thank you for coming in. Yes, let's do some African updates, some news around.
Okay.
Yes, Biden just pledged 1 billion vaccine doses for the Mpox that is ravaging some part of Africa, and is also giving Africa $500 million to help that outbreak of the Congo Mpox. What's your take on this? Are you following that news? Biden announced this yesterday at the United Nations meeting in New York. He also encouraged other nations to emulate what America is doing. The Mpox, as we know, is going very, very deep.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Raji?
Well, you see, my attitude towards the so-called AIDS from US and the other Western countries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't not think that Africa should be treated as a basket case. And then we Africans should not be so dependent on so-called AIDS from all these people. Are they giving us, or are they loaning us, or are there some strings attached? You see, all these things, I can assure you there's no free lunch. There is no free lunch. And all this money that are coming from them, they are in trouble. The countries are not particularly happy with themselves now. They all have economic problems. And dishing out $500 million, $1 billion to Africa, there is something hidden. I'm not really jumping for joy, because I'm afraid of the Greeks when they come to you with gifts.
But if nobody is doing much, okay, there's strong noise behind you, Raji. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, if countries are not doing much, the World Health Organization is not doing much also on this issue, and he's coming out to help with some vaccines, some cash or finance to probably look into that spread of the mpox. I don't think it's a bad idea for this one. I don't look at it as a politically motivated thing. Don't you? What do you say?
Well,
I think. Mhm.
I do not, in all honesty, trust America and their generosity. I do not, for whatever reason. I do
Mhm.
not, and I don't think that they have money to throw around, and then they'll be willing to throw it around to Africa. I do not. But that's my own opinion. That's my own opinion. There's always a cash somewhere. Way down the line, we may be asked to do some things that may impugn on our independence, on our and so many other things. But I do not trust America with their generosity.
Generosity. But what are other organizations and what are other countries doing towards the spread of the mpox? It's spreading very fast, and we see what is the damage is doing also on people, that virus that has been passed through animals. What are countries doing? It is not about who has done something, but what are other people doing to help stop the spread?
Well, I'm sorry, I do not have any facts. I don't have any
Okay.
facts about what
Okay.
I don't even have the facts about how widespread the mpox is. I don't. But I do not think it's a critical emergency for which uh, uh, we are all expected to do something.
Okay.
Every country.
Hear the facts. Hear the facts. There are
Okay.
25,903 cases of mpox and
Yeah.
723 deaths so far across Africa continent. So
Okay.
that means that it's not joking. Mpox is ravaging, is killing people. The symptoms include fever, muscle pain, large balls around the skin,
Yes.
and these are not joke. This is not it's not a plaything. So if America is coming in to help with some finance, with some dose of vaccine, I don't think
Hmm.
it's a bad idea. Personally, that's my own.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Get me right. I'm not saying it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not very comfortable with American generosity. No matter the reason why they come to us with.
No
Yes, I'm
matter
not
the
just
reason.
confident. Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's it, viewers. That's Raji's take on this whole thing. But the mpox is
Hmm.
spreading. Like I said,
Yes.
25,000 people have it now, and it's moving
Yes.
very fast. It's an outbreak from Congo, spreading
Yes.
to neighboring countries, and now they say mpox in India. India now
Hmm.
has cases of mpox, and it's monkeypox, you call it. It's a viral disease transmitted to
Hmm.
human beings through infected animals. So
Yes.
that's it on that. Raji, let's go on to let's talk more on the Edo situation. Edo State,
Yes.
Nigeria had its election last Saturday. We did some review here, but we still need to talk more. Olumide Apata of the LP political party has just revealed to us that votes were sold. Votes were sold. Sorry, the background noise is much. Sorry for that. Olumide Akpata revealed to us that votes were sold, and people. What he said is people are suffering from the Stockholm syndrome. What he noticed is a lot of Edolites are still stuck with their captors because of cash, because a lot of people were buying votes. Votes were being sold. They were even bidding who have the highest 30,000, 20,000, like he said. Um, so this is what is happening. This is what happened right there in Edo State, Nigeria, in the last election. Braji, we didn't hear you talk about it last time. How's your overview of that election in Edo State?
Well, I believe that there's hardly any elections happening in Nigeria that will not wherein money will not
Sorry,
exchange
sorry,
hands.
Raji. Raji, we're not seeing your face. We're seeing your shoulder.
Okay, so sorry. Okay,
Aha.
sorry.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm very sure that there's hardly any elections in Nigeria that will go on without money being exchanging hands. I believe that.
Okay. Okay.
But then, regardless of that, I've
Mm-hmm.
heard where I've been involved in election uh, management, and what the voters were telling us was that yes,
Mm-hmm.
if our opponents bring money, they will accept it, but they will vote
Can
their
you imagine?
conscience.
Can you
But they
imagine
will
that?
vote, but they will vote their conscience. So
Hmm.
regardless of what the people contestants bring to them, they will take their money because it is
Hmm.
it is it is the people's money that the politicians are spending around. They will take the money, but they will vote their conscience, and we encourage them to take the money if they are giving, but to vote their conscience because they will be going into the ballot box with their
Box.
without anybody looking over their shoulder. So when they enter the box, they can vote their conscience. Now, regardless of that, apart from that, the real issue comes with when the votes have to be counted, collated, and announcements made. If the
Yeah.
counting process if the counting
Mm-hmm.
process is mad with so many uh, things, so many wrongdoings, then the 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 very validity of the electoral process will be questioned.
Hmm.
I've seen some reports where the number of people who were accredited to vote in a particular polling unit was far less than the people who actually voted. About 100 for that polling unit. It was supposed to be 430 something people registered to vote in that polling unit. 139 came to be accredited, and more than 500 people eventually voted. You see,
Hmm.
that process is worse than vote buying. If the umpire cannot be trusted to be to be to produce a clear, verifiable, legible result, then there's no need for voting in the first instance. So we should not concentrate on vote buying. We should concentrate on the results, the validity of those results, and the genuineness of the process itself. So I don't see people will buy votes. The voters are left to vote their conscience, but the
Hmm.
umpire himself should be found to be beyond criticism, so that the process will come out to show that no matter how much money you give to voters, the voters will still go and vote their conscience, and the
But
electoral
Raji,
process.
how do you say this when we know that money influences things? If somebody has paid for a vote, has paid a person, a voter, vote for me, obviously he will vote for him. It's no more conscience
Why?
again. It's no more. I
Why?
mean, I mean, I mean, what are you saying, Raji? The Edo situation was why? Why is people are hungry? The voters are also in need of cash, and that is what the system has also done. The system has
Oh,
put
but but
people
but
in
but
a.
but
Mhm.
but I just mentioned to you my experience when I went around as a project manager for my friend's governorship election.
Okay.
The voters themselves were telling us that yes, they are sure that our opponents are bringing money, and that they don't actually need our money, but that
Mm.
they will vote their conscience. When the money is brought,
Mhm.
they will collect the money.
That's what they
When
said.
the, because, yes, that's what they said. I will collect the money, but we vote our conscience, and that is the education that I want all parties, especially those who feel uh, who feel deficient in the fact that they don't have enough money to spread around to buy votes.
Mm. Anyway,
educate the voters. Yes.
Apata observed that votes were sold for up to 30,000 naira, making people to abandon the promise for a better future for their lives. You know, they were just held in. Yes.
Okay. After all the vote buying and the vote selling, what is the credibility level that you can put on the outcome of the results? When you look at the Form ECO8 that was signed by all polling agents and the result that INEC eventually eventually brought up.
So yes,
so regardless of how much voters were paid for their votes, how credible is the election result itself?
Okay.
That's my question.
Yes. How credible is the election result itself? Yes. Both factors affect the election result. The vote buying and even the credibility of the INEC officers. We saw that some IREV uploaded sheets were not correct. The arithmetic, the mathematics on what they calculated was absolutely crazy. You know, you will see 80, 90, 10 people LP, 20 people, 500 people attended present, and the calculation will come to something totally different from all of that number. So that's
what you need to question.
Yeah, that is what we need to question.
That's what we need to question. Yes. Regardless of whether the votes were bought or not. Yeah.
Or not. Okay. Thank you, Raji. So anyway, Raji, from your own point of view, as a Nigerian, even though you're not in Ghana, how will you assess that Edo election? Your own personal assessment. Tell us.
I believe that INEC didn't do right because there are so many questionable results that came from a comparison of the Form ECO8 and the result as was published by INEC on its IREV. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it wasn't correct. It wasn't.
No, it's not credible. It's not very, very credible. No.
So you are blaming INEC for the whole performance, the poor performance.
A lot of blame will go to INEC, and a lot of blame will also go to our leaders, like the president, who instead of being presidential was ranting about those who felt cheated to go to court. It's very, very unpresidential, very, very unpresidential, and it shows that he's not a leader.
Okay, Raji, that's it for Edo. Edo is still, Raji, people are still very bitter. A lot of people are still not happy. PDP, for example, is saying that the papers were not checked, the ballot papers were not checked up before announcing. LP is complaining. All the parties are complaining, which is normal anyway. In every election, there has to be that. Yes, not everybody will accept the outcome, but the masses too are complaining. Edo citizens, we see some of them coming on out in the street protesting. People said their votes were not counted and all that. Anyway, so that's it. We hope we can do better. I think the next off-season election will be, is it Ekiti? Is there any more off-season election?
I do not think so. I can't remember.
I think it's all been done. Okay, because Ekiti did theirs. Osun State. Osun did theirs months back. Yeah, so I think that's all for now till 2027 when we'll go on the general poll again. Viewers, so that's it. Go ahead.
So my viewers, please let me apologize to our viewers that I'm actually moving around, and therefore I apologize upfront that my video may not be very stable.
Yes,
They should please
yes,
bear with us. Yes,
yes. We see you dark and
yes,
it's not
yes,
visible. Okay. The most important thing is you're present and
yeah.
you're
Thank you.
here. Thank you very much. Let's move on to some other stories. There's a good news coming from the northern Nigeria. It says a $50 million fund has been put into the Arewa Tech Fund to propel innovation in North Nigeria. $50 million is a lot of money. So what they are trying to do is invest into the area, into the northern SMEs, small medium enterprises across the north, and this money is to be used more on tech-driven solutions and startups. It's an arrangement being spearheaded by the former governor of the state, Malam Nuso Al-Rufai, and he says it's an effort to make the Northerners, not Nigeria, also catch up with innovations and what is happening now in the world. So, is that good news, Raji? Does that sound like good news? The
It,
North
it,
catching up?
it may seem like good news to them, but when you look at the foundation, you look at the educational level of the people, you can. Oh no, look, we love to play catch up with technology. I heard a lot of stories being said about renewable energy in the north and things and things and things. When you don't have a good foundation for all these things, there's no foundation for it. So you are going to deploy technology for what? For which people? Rather than develop the educational foundation of the people, train the people in the things that will make them uh, independent of you, to make them depend on themselves. You are investing uh, 50 million in technology. Which technology? But it may sound like good news to them. It may sound like good news to most people.
Well, it is good news because this will
Yes.
empower you innovators, tech
How?
entrepreneurs. Um,
How?
yes, how is they will get loan, they will get grants, and they will
To
be
do
able
what?
to buy more, buy devices, buy materials, things
To do
needed
what?
to
To do what?
build their companies.
To do what in practical terms? To do what?
Are you saying this? Do you know that there is a northern a house boy that has a scooter,
Yes.
electric driven scooters?
Yes.
Did you see that? So more of such ideas, innovations will be coming up. But
Okay.
obviously they need finance, they need support. So investing
Okay.
$50
Which is
million
good.
into that tech-driven environment is good. I see it as a good thing. It will propel innovation, as you said, and it will also create an atmosphere where we'll probably begin to reduce this terrorism, kidnapping, and all these things that is coming from that part
Yes.
the most.
Yes.
Yes, because these young men, some of those boys that are bandits, Boko Haram,
Yes.
believe me, I don't think they enjoy doing what they're doing. Some of them have
Those
passions to have what they really would have loved
tho-
to do. You know,
those those who can't read and write.
no, it's not reading and writing that makes anybody can do anything,
Okay.
even right.
Yes, I understand that. I understand that.
Yes. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's the news coming from Northern Nigeria viewers. $50 million Iowa Tech Fund to propel innovation, and this will help to um, push. The money will be used to prioritize incentive in healthcare, agriculture, technology, help them in every space. And
Yes.
I believe it will help. It will help, Raji. It will.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's move
Sure.
on,
Thank
Raji.
you.
Yes, Raji, there's something we always say here, and that is that our people should really begin to look more, fix their eyes more on governance, fix your eye more on what the government is doing, on what the local chairman, your mayor, your councillor, all these people are doing. Let's not leave this thing and say it doesn't concern us. Raji, add the voice to that.
Yes, because we all are part of government.
Okay.
Everybody is a part of government. It will be foolish for anybody to think that you can leave governance to every Tom and Dick and Harry, and that it doesn't concern you. You are concerned. As long as you're in that locality, the governance of that place affects you one way or the other. Politics will be made that will affect your very existence. So yes, we should all be interested in governance.
Wow, nice one. Now you just said, Raji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Raji, let's take this foreign news, then we'll go on the break and come back with more African news. Lebanon is on the brink of, Lebanon is being hit hard. Yesterday, the United Nations chief said the world leaders should all gather that Lebanese are going through a lot from the Israelis. As of yesterday, there are about 558 people that have died so far, and 55 children also. Now we know what is happening. Lebanon is in a serious clash with Israel. And Israel says Lebanon is not the target, it's the Hezbollah organization. Now, when two elephants are fighting, they say the ground suffers. Raji, what's this whole story coming from Lebanon?
It's quite sad. It's quite sad that there's hardly any peace in the whole of Middle East, and it's because all the combatants involved are probably afraid of peace. They are afraid of peace. Otherwise, it doesn't take much long to. But the chief culprit I can see is the Israeli intransigence in fostering genocide among the Palestinians and among their neighbors. Israel has to be called to order to please stop all this brigandage that is happening in the Middle East, that is costing the Middle East its peace. Please. So far, you see, world notice have been shifted from the suffering in Gaza, which continues to be sustained wickedly by the Israeli government, and in order to not to let the world know what is happening, Israel has closed down Al Jazeera office in Gaza, and therefore there's no news coming out of Gaza to show the genocide that is consistently happening in Gaza. Now they have shifted, they have distracted the whole world by starting a war with Hezbollah. Meanwhile, the destruction and the genocide in Gaza is still ongoing. So I see the invasion of Hezbollah as a distraction from the wickedness they are perpetrating on the people of Gaza.
Thank you very much, Raji. Yes, it's terrible. Now, world leaders are there at United Nations, and we hope a solution will be put out. Biden is pleading for peace. Everybody is saying this should stop, but Israel is still pushing, and they are saying they won't stop until they finish what they've come to do to the Hezbollah organization. So it's really sad. Now people are dying. Viewers, the picture there is bomb explosions. There are lots of it coming out of that quarter now. We have children, 55 children so far have died, and 558 civilians have also died. Well, one thing is for sure, that the peace in that region, as long as it is Israel, as long as it is all of this, it will be hard to come by. Raji, would you think there will be peace in that region? Do you think things will ever be peaceful. What do you think?
As long as Israel is not called to order, there shall be no peace in that place. And the whole thing rests on America, on the U.S. U.S. meddlesomeness in the Middle East, and U.S. support of the genocide that is going on in Gaza, in any other place where Israel decides to bomb. What is happening in Lebanon now is actually a distraction from the wickedness that is happening in Gaza. What is happening in Lebanon now is just a distraction from the wickedness that is actually happening in Gaza.
Raji, thank you very much. Let's go on a small break. Raji, thank you for your presence here and the viewpoints you bring. Viewers, this is it, Wednesday, 25th September, Global Africa SSM update. We'll be back.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian soul, are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
This is everything you need to marry a Nigerian girl. Her father gave me a list of 39 items which include a live goat. The first place I went was the bulk food market to gather the yam, palm oil, baskets of fruit, and dried fish known as eja osun. And it's not just one yam or liter of palm oil, I am buying large quantities. It was pouring rain and I rented boots to make it through the mud, but it is worth it to marry my beautiful bride. In Nigeria, they practice dowry for marriage, paid to the family. In the Yoruba culture, each item is symbolic and not really a payment to the family, but rather proving your worth to marry her. And prove it I did by next heading to the goat market, where I spoke with a house of men to find the meatiest goat. This is the one I picked, and surprisingly, the goat at only $40 is one of the cheapest items on the list. This can't be done in one day, so after the rain cleared, I went to Mushin Main Market to find the kola nut, both bitter and regular, the alligator pepper, the adun, which specifically said I needed to buy plenty, and bottle of raw honey, which symbolizes that our marriage will be sweet. Next, I had to gather biscuits, bulk packs of different drinks, wine, and semen schnapps, as well as a suitcase full of new clothes for my fiance to prove I can provide for her in the marriage, and lastly, the marriage Bible, as God will always come first. It is possible to pay someone to buy these items, but for me, I wanted the experience myself. Finally, we brought all these items to the family home for the wedding day. It is not easy to marry a Yoruba girl, but my bride is strong, smart, loving, beautiful, and completely worth it.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in south-south Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
What is wrong with you? You think this place is a brothel? No. Shut up!
There's something I must say as I wake up like this to say I felt good.
Shut up! If you're badly written plot.
Ah, madam, I don't do anything. I don't plot anything. I don't even sabi plot. I did my corner.
I just feel that there's something suspicious about this Lami girl. I mean, what if she's a spy?
Or even a witch?
Karina! Why are you suddenly being so nice to Lami?
I'm trying to be a good human, at least for once.
Touch your hair with someone.
With the TV, yes.
Who are you?
Lami might be a small talker, but all words and no actions.
What did you do?
Just a little something to tell you that no one messes with you.
Yes, viewers, welcome back to SSM Wednesday. Wednesday African update. I'm here all alone now. I think somehow network has taken off our coordinator from Accra, from Cape Coast, Ghana, Raji, Raji. I can see you there. Well, anyway, let's do some more updates, and we'll be done for today. Also, we're looking at Dangote. Dangote has made some very impressive moves. We were watching the interview he had with CNN, the interview he had with Bloomberg last time, and we were following up some of all he said. Let's listen to this online here. Dangote's interview with Bloomberg, where he gave insights to some issues. One of the things he said, it's okay if government wants to remove petrol subsidy. He says Nigerians will adjust. He also said that at the point also he wanted to buy Arsenal, but Arsenal football team, but he's not doing that again. Then he talked about how Nigerians could adjust to the market pricing of petrol, and how the government also cannot afford to pay the subsidy that they talked about. A lot of issues were addressed, topics were talked about by Dangote, Aluko Dangote. Aluko Dangote had that interview with Bloomberg Network. Before we sit here, let's also look into more issues. We are also following the Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Nnamdi Kanu is the IPOB headman and the leader of that proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Nnamdi Kanu is in court. The judge that has been spearheading the case said he's withdrawing from the trial. This is a very serious issue. It worsens the whole thing, delays also the case that have been lingering on for almost 9 years now. So trial judge Binta Yako of the Federal High Court in Abuja withdrew from continuing handling the Nnamdi Kanu's trial. We don't know what that means, what will happen next, but we know that the State Security Service, SSS, have been detaining Kanu, a dual citizen of Nigeria and United Kingdom, over charges of treasonable felony arising from his organization. They say his organization is a separatist organization that seeks for the independent of Biafra people of Nigeria. So Nnamdi Kanu yesterday, the trial judge said she's withdrawing from the whole case. We hope to have more insight on that, more news, more updates on what that could happen, what that could mean for Nnamdi's case. But a lot is going on, and we like to stay abreast with what is going on. So also, we're looking at what is coming from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. The NBS says the unemployment rate in Nigeria has increased to 5.3% in the first quarter of 2024, from 5.0 to 5.3. So what that means is employment rate, a lot of people are not working. Those are employed are now out of work. People are not available for work also. This is a serious issue. These are issues that government should be looking into. NBC, Bureau of Statistics, National Bureau of Statistics says employment rate in Nigeria has increased. There are more people out there without job. The unemployment rate among youths now from the ages of 17 to 24 has increased. And this is not good at all for our economy. So NBC, National Bureau of Statistics, is giving this information to us. It was released yesterday that the first quarter of 2024, unemployment rate has increased. Unemployment rate has increased. Yes. Let's listen to a little of what Aliko Dangote said at the Bloomberg interview yesterday.
What happened, I think we agree with them. We gave them a good deal. Where we said, okay, fine. We structured an agreement. The first agreement was that they're going to pay us $1 billion. The deal was about $2.79 billion. And then the balance of the money, $1 billion, which they paid us about a year and a half ago. And then the balance of the money was split into two. One portion is that every crude they supply to us 300,000 barrels. Then we'll deduct $2.
Yeah.
And then up to the time they finish paying that, 1/3. The other 1/3 will come out of their own profit. So what the NNPC opted out that no. It's a little bit confused. I mean, it's a bit of a confusion. They want this agreement to be changed, where they want to pay cash. They don't want it that way. So we say, okay, fine. We sign another agreement, canceling the other one. The new agreement that we signed was for them to pay us after 1 year, no interest, nothing. After 1 year, they will pay us the balance of 1.8 billion. The month for them to pay was June. And June, they came back to us and said, no, they've changed their minds. They want to remain at 7.2%. So, okay, fine. So we left it. And we own now the rest of the shares. They own 7.2%. And we own the balance of the shares. And that's what it is. But I think they made a big mistake.
Yes, he think they made a big mistake. So anyway, he's talking about Nigerian government and his refinery, his business, that the working between buying the fuel, buying the raw crude and all that has not gone too well. But he says things will improve with time. Nigerians will adjust also to this petroleum subsidy, and hopefully we'll all get our lives. So that's it. That's Aliko Dangote, the president of the Aliko Group, and he was there in Bloomberg interview yesterday. So continuing with all that we have also, let's begin to wrap it up. We found out that Tinubu is making fresh action from the Senate to endorse Justice Kekere Ekun. Justice Kekere Ekun was acting as the Chief Justice before. So now they want her to be the appointed Chief Justice, not just acting. Justice Kekere Ekun. For those of you following the legal system, the legal plan. So the president is writing to the Senate to confirm that the woman Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun be confirmed as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. And we are looking at what the Senate will do about this. If there will be any, the country needs its Chief Justice to be firm, to be working, and not an acting one, a confirmed one. So that's the information coming from the Senate this morning. Akpabio and team will look into it and probably give their approval before the end of the week. So that's it. Viewers, thank you very much for tuning in to Wednesday SSM Global Updates. We have looked through so many issues. We'll be coming back on Friday to look into more international issues as we also follow the United Nations 57th meeting that is going on. We hope to have more engagement, more profitable outcome from that meeting right there in New York. United Nations Security Council members are all gathering. Also, we hope that the Lebanon issue with Israel, Hezbollah issue with Israel will be settled. So on this note, I want to thank you for tuning in. It's been quite some ride, even though my colleagues are not here. I know a lot of them are busy, a lot of them are doing their thing. But before we go off, also let's look at there is the fashion, the Paris Fashion Week going on, and we have one of our own debuting in that event. The Paris Fashion Week used to attract a lot of people. So right there is the daughter of a Nigerian businessman called Otedola. So Timi Otedola is at the Paris Fashion Week. There she goes. She's this is her first time in that kind of activity. Timi is an actor. She's an influencer. Temi Otedola, sorry. She's an actor, an influencer, and she's there at the Paris Fashion Week, looking real nice, putting out very trendy, beautiful attires, and representing. So Temi, well done. Congratulations on debuting at the Paris Fashion Week. We hope more engagement will come out of that. Yeah, so viewers, thank you for tuning in. Until we come again next week on Friday, please join up and get updated. Stay updated, be alert on occurrences around the world. If you have had to understand issues, link up with us. We'll bring you perspective from all the activities around the world. So until then, do have a beautiful midweek. God bless you. Bye-bye.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Schengen Story, buy your copy. Schengen Story, buy your copy. Schengen Story is African journal detailing events, lifestyle, fashion, various kind of stories within the Africans in Europe. So you want to get a copy of what is going on. This is our way of putting out our own side of the story in Europe. In most cases, the media, the European media doesn't talk much about the Africans. And if they do, it's negative. So Schengen Story is putting out what really happens within the African community in Europe. Schengen Story is giving out that story, detailing events, lifestyle, giving out all good, great informations of Africans in Europe. So get your own copy, Schengen Story. And if you have a story to tell, you have something to say, you have an article to put out, feel free to contact us, Schengen Story Team, and let's have your story in this epic movement of mainstream media going on in Europe. So get a copy, Schengen Story magazine. Buy your copy, Schengen Story, Schengen Story, Schengen Story. Get your copy.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.